Welcome to the TechSense YouTube channel. I am AI generated. Enjoy this amazing and well-crafted content, giving you the latest in tech. With love, your bot.
Built an AI platform that makes almost $100,000 a month.
This is Dustin, and just 2 years ago, he came across an idea that changed his life.
I saw very quickly where the world was headed and almost like a revelation, saw what the next 3 years would look like.
So he did something crazy. With no money and no coding experience, he taught himself how to build apps, and he built an MVP.
I made $3,000 in that first month.
2 months later, he made $10,000 a month, and a year later, he was making $30,000 a month. I brought Dustin onto the channel to break down exactly how he did it. In this video, we'll dive into the not so obvious problem his app solves and why it's so successful, his 8-week no-code build process from idea to launch, and why he thinks everyone should be building an AI right now. All right, let's get into it. I'm Pat Walls, and this is StarterStory. All right, Dustin, welcome to the channel. Tell me about who you are, what you built, and what's your story.
My name's Dustin. I built a little tool called Magi. I built the app in 8 weeks and had my first customers on the first day that I released it. So 2.5 years later, we're doing well over $1 million in revenue, over almost $100,000 a month.
All right, well, before we get into the idea and the app that you actually built, I just want to get a little bit of background on you, how you get to this point.
I grew up in small town Pennsylvania. Mom and my stepdad always worked hard to try and provide a good life for us. I wanted to be an actor, so I moved out to California to pursue acting. Hated waiting tables, so ended up starting a business instead. Found that I had a knack for social media and technology, and so I taught myself web design, taught myself marketing, and starting an agency. Very quickly, though, I learned that I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and that didn't scale very well for me. So I found that if I focused all that perfectionism into building digital products, I could help hundreds of thousands of people rather than one client at a time. And so I started building digital products. My first digital product was in 2014, started a WordPress plugin company with a couple of partners. We kind of grew apart as partners, and I made my exit to start a couple other products that failed miserably, and then found myself in a place where I was not sure if I had anything left to give, but kept moving forward anyways. And then the idea for Magi is what started this whole new season of life.
All right, well, let's dive into that. How do you come up with the idea for Magi, this business that's now making over $100,000 a month? Where do you even get this idea?
You know, having been through several different technology booms, I saw the writing on the wall. I saw that the whole world was about to change. And so as I started using ChatGPT, I realized that there were some things missing. There were some features that I wish were there. You know, at the beginning, you couldn't search your chats. You couldn't put things into folders. All these little quality of life things started piling up. I knew that I could make something better and I could improve it. And thanks to, you know, the journey that I had been on, I had kind of taught myself enough about how to develop working apps using no-code tools and having some experience with customers in the subscription SaaS space. I knew that people were completely burnt out on subscriptions, and seeing all these different AI companies pop up, I went to myself, people are going to need like 5 or 6 different subscriptions just to get the best of the best AI things. What if I could solve that one problem for them? And then on top of that, all these quality of life things that I'm having with ChatGPT. So that was really the genesis of the idea.
I want to now get into how you actually built this thing. That's something that we really try to dig into as StarterStory. You didn't have a technical or big time developer background, but you built this amazing SaaS software tool. Take me through the actual build and launch of Magi AI. How did you do it? How did you go from zero to really great product?
Yeah, so you're spot on. I'm not a developer. So when I was at the point in my life where I was broke, no ability to hire developers to help me, when I had this idea, I had to find a way to build it myself without spending any money. And so I actually found a really great online course, and I just started learning as much as I could, as fast as I could. Within 8 weeks, I had a full MVP built on a combination of Bubble and a handful of code that I understood how to build myself. I launched it thinking nobody would buy it, but to my surprise, in the first month, we made $3,000. Second month, $4,000. Third month, we were at $10,000 a month. And then after 1 full year, we were doing $30,000 a month in revenue.
Okay, well, on that note, I think a lot of people watching are wondering, okay, once you actually launch it, get those first users, how did you then scale it or grow it to $100,000 a month? What were the growth tactics or the marketing strategies you employed?
The most important marketing strategy that I could say that I utilized at the beginning was having built a personal brand for the last 10 years. You need to be building in public. People want to see the journey. Even if it's not pretty, if it's not Instagram polished, people want to see. So for the last 10 years, I had a personal blog that had over 10 years accumulated over 100,000 email subscribers. So when I launched a product, I had a built-in audience. And so that carried me doing no advertising, doing no real marketing aside from just building in public. I will also say that I think a big contributor to the initial momentum that we had was right away, I built an affiliate program into the product, and it was a very generous one. It was an affiliate program that was built on recurring revenue. So it's not just a one-time commission. If they refer a customer that pays us 12 times, they get paid 12 times. And apart from that, I'm very grateful to have some really great friends in the industry, some really great marketers who are friends of mine. I built relationships in the industry. I genuinely care about people. I'm an extrovert, so I really do love people. So those were really the three biggest keys to growing Magi from 0 to 100,000 a month in revenue. So you started the conversation with Claude, and then you brought GPT-5 into the conversation. So yeah, it gives you access to all of the best AI models in one subscription, one dashboard. The other great thing is you're not limited to just large language models. We also have image and video models as well. So we have DALL-E, Flux, GPT image, we have Ideogram, all of the top image and video models as well. So if you wanted to flip over and create a photo of a cat playing cards, you can do that with Flux right inside that same chat conversation. So most of what you're seeing on the front end is built with Bubble. On top of that, we're using Stripe as our payment processor. ConvertKit is our default email marketing system. OpenRouter is sort of our central access point for all these AI models. They've created a unified technology platform that allows you to access all the different LLMs with one API call format. And Fowl.ai is also similar. They put all of the image and video and audio models in one place. Now, some of the models I do have direct API connections to. In fact, with OpenAI, I have the highest tier. And then on top of that, it's just your standard Google Analytics to track, how users are using the app. I use Ahrefs as our SEO platform to kind of monitor our keyword ranking and how we're doing from an SEO standpoint.
Thanks for showing that. The other question I have is, how do you monetize this? Are you on a subscription model? Is there freemium, free trial? What's worked for you?
Yeah, so we have strictly a paid model. We don't have any freemium. We have a $20 a month plan for solo users, and it gets you the average amount of usage that you might need in a given month. So if you want to blast through that, we give you the option to add more usage as you go if you need it. We have a team plan. It's $40 a month. It gives you up to 5 users. You all share. There's 3 times as much usage. And again, you can purchase more. You can also add team members for $20 per team member per month if you need more users. And so that's great for enterprises who need to scale up to 1,000 or more users. You can do that easily right from within the app.
Well, thanks for sharing that. The last question that I have for you is, if you could go back in time, stand on Dustin's shoulder, or share any advice with anyone who's watching this channel who wants to do something amazing like you've done, built $1 million AI SaaS product, what would be your advice?
I think the biggest problem that founders face is letting their past failures define them. I had a lot of confidence when I launched my first software company, and by the grace of God, it was successful out of the gate with very little effort. But then I left that business and I had 2 more ideas that completely failed to launch and crashed and burned. And so my confidence was shot, and those failures were so heavy on me that I lacked the confidence that I should have had. People rejected the products. They didn't reject you.
Cool. Thanks for coming on the channel, Dustin. Amazing story. Hope to have you back on sometime. Thanks for sharing everything.
My pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Dustin, for coming onto the channel. I think one of the most powerful feelings in the world is taking an idea from up here in your head and bringing it to life, just like Dustin did with Maj AI.
I've tried more than 500 AI tools, and these are the ones that will actually help you get rich. I own dozens of AI companies, and I can tell you, in the AI era, you won't get rich by working harder. You'll get rich by mastering the tools that help you work less. This isn't just another ChatGPT tutorial that you've seen 1,000 times. These AI tools are what I'm implementing right now in all my companies to be more productive and stay ahead of the competition. So let's get into it. Tool number 1, YourAtlas.com. Your Atlas helps you close deals while you sleep. It's an AI voice agent that specializes in bringing opportunities into your world so that you don't have to be on the phone. We use it in all of my companies when people fill out any kind of form so that we can call them right away and ask them questions to help get them qualified and on the phone with the right person. I mean, I even use it to confirm all the kids who register for my free youth program, Kings Club, so that it calls them and gets them to verbally commit to showing up. Because if you've never tried to get a bunch of kids in a room, sometimes they don't follow through on what they sign up for. It saved my team dozens of hours of calling all these people to have the conversation, answering the same questions, because your Atlas did it for us. So if you want to get rich, speed to lead is everything in business. So here's how it works. Just go to youratlas.com. I put my name and my cell number and I say, talk to AI. Now it's going to call me.
Emma from Atlas. Am I speaking with Dan?
Yeah, this is Dan. Hey, Emma, I got a quick question because I'm in a rush. I'm shooting a video. Do you guys help if I have like Facebook ads and stuff and I want to like get my ads to get a faster response?
Absolutely, Dan. Atlas is designed to help businesses like yours by ensuring faster follow-ups and optimizing ad spend, which can significantly improve your response times and overall ad performance. Would you like to schedule a call with our founder to see exactly how Atlas can work for your Facebook ads?
Yeah, let's do that. How about 2 p.m. next Friday?
Great news, Dan. We have an available slot at 2 p.m. next Friday. Let's get that booked for you. Can I confirm your name is Dan Martell and your email is
let's not. Whoa. Don't put my email on the internet. No. Stop it. That's Emma. Okay, Emma's youratlas.com. You can have it, Bob. You can have it, whoever you want. I showed Atlas to my father-in-law the other night, and it broke his brain. He kept asking me, he's like, well, who's Emma? And I was like, well, Emma's not real. What do you mean? I go, well, Emma's the AI. The person I was talking to, that call, that's the AI, because he only ever knew chat. He didn't know that it could call and talk and have conversation. Think about it. Removing yourself from calling people, answering inbound calls, answering questions that you answer all the time, route them to the right person, programming it so it can be a world-class salesperson on your behalf will save you all the time in the world. Now that's just the first tool, but we've got 9 more money-making tools that we got to get through. Tool number 2, N8N.io. What it is an open source workflow automation to automate all your business workflows with AI built into it. All you have to do is drag and drop or code your logic into the automation. So every time something happens over here, it runs through the automation and you get an output over there. If you want to get rich, automation is the best way to buy back your time so you can focus on higher leverage things that make you more money. For an example, every company should automate their onboarding. You could have a payment link that kicks off an email that then invites them to your internal community and then sends them a text message that invites them to schedule a call with the person in your company and have the whole thing automated. So once somebody buys, everything just runs on its own. Build it once and watch your clients get onboarded auto-magically. We use it in every part of our businesses. My department leads are asked to automate every repeated function in their department so that we only work on things that add real value, not that feel like monotonous tasks. Now that we've got automation covered, it's time to build real leverage. Before I share the third tool, I just want to make it clear. If you want to try out any of these tools yourself, I have them all linked below in the description. However, if you're building real AI innovation right now, like actually coding cool new software, and you want to partner with me and my team at Martell Ventures, click the first link in the description and apply, and we'll see if it's a fit. Tool number 3, lovable.dev. What it is an app builder where all you do is describe the product you want to have built, the functionality, how it works, and it will actually create it for you. It can build an app, it can build a website, it can build anything. This has never happened before. Ready to deploy apps in minutes. You know, most people had to wait for a developer to build them something. Now you can just go to Lovable and type in whatever you want and it'll build it for you. There's just so much opportunity. The limiting factor is your creativity on what you can get the app to build. Most people just don't trust it. They're like, there's no way this can actually build something useful. Just like when people started playing with spreadsheets, they're like, there's no way the spreadsheet could actually do my personal finances. It's like, no, it can. Is it really that powerful? Oh, it's that powerful. Can you really build apps that people pay for? Oh, every day. I mean, the company just raised hundreds of millions of dollars because they have so many people dependent on its platform. If you want to get rich this year, you need to be able to build as fast as your competition or better. And they're using these tools. So I just want to walk you through a simple example to give you a sense of how powerful this is. So you would just start a new project. You type landing page for my AI automation agency that helps plumbers in the Midwest, right? Very simple, very specific. Enter. Review what it created. Review the website. Review the copy. Review the flows. It has all the information from the whole internet, and it brought it together and it created a website for you with a paragraph, 3 sentences. It's wild. It creates a shareable link that you can send to your team members or your business partner to preview it. And you can even test payments and take payments on the website, all in the matter of seconds. I was using it today. We have a new coaching program I just launched for people that are like 7 figures or higher called Quantum. And I wanted everybody to fill out an intake form so I could really understand their business. And what I did is I took all the data they gave me in that form and then fed it to Lovable and asked it to create a 1-page design that allows me to understand their situation, their challenges, their business metrics, everything in 1 page. And it created a slide deck so that I can go through it. So while I'm coaching them, I pull up the information they gave me. That way, every tactic or strategy I give them is personalized for them. Being able to automate that and visualize that at scale would require a full-time person. If you really want to take your business to the next level, you have to use tools to build apps, because apps are the new spreadsheet. Building automation, workflow, new innovation. That's what's going to separate you from your competition. So now that you've got the products built, or at least a way to build them, it's time to make some real money. Tool number 4, getrevio.com. In short, Revio turns direct messages on Instagram and LinkedIn and email and text messages into dollars. It helps you score leads that come in over chat. It suggests the next thing you should share with them as an AI sales co-pilot. It even helps you book calls or take payment through chat. It's a sales assistant on top of your chats on social media. Prior to a tool like this, you had to use spreadsheets and you had all these people involved and who's tracking what and you're using links, and it was confusing. With AI built in on top of your chats using Revio, it does lead scoring. It tells you how well the salesperson's doing in regards to following a sales framework, and it gives the exact language the person should use to move the sale forward. I personally love to chat in the DMs. I have millions of followers and I love to talk with them. I have to use a tool like Revio so that I can manage my follow-up. I can see who's serious. It does lead scoring. It gives summaries of everything we've shared so far. So if I come back in, haven't talked to somebody for months, I have all the context. I've got clients making $1 million a month, chatting with strangers on Instagram using Revio. Here's why this works. Your audience, they live in the chat. You gotta meet them there so you can close them faster. So this is how simple Revio is. You just connect your social account. You launch a simple campaign to open up the followers, and then you reply to them using the suggestions and the guides that Revio gives you so that you can move the conversation forward to book a sales call. It makes it so easy to connect with literally thousands of people and not feel overwhelmed, because it prioritizes and it creates your areas of focus in these buckets so that you know who to reply to first. Using AI to help you augment your sales capacity, especially over chats, is next level. But now that your leads are warm, we have to get even higher quality intros on demand. Tool number 5, socialsweep.ai. I'm so excited to share these with you. Social Sweep is an internal tool that I've been using for months to help me network as I travel. If you've seen me get on my jet and fly around to different cities and do podcasts and keynotes and dinners and workouts, I've been using Social Sweep behind the scenes. It allows me to find the most valuable and important contacts in my network that I didn't even know I had. This tool will change the way you communicate, network, and ask for intros. So one of my clients had 5 dream podcasts he wanted to get on. I told him to just load your social contacts into Social Sweep and then tell it who you want to connect with. And then it showed him the warmest path to get those intros. He was able to get multiple intros and get on 3 podcasts within weeks. If you want to get rich this year, your connections, your relationships matter more than anything. The way I think about it is very simple. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. You know how you hear people say you're like one relationship away from achieving your goal? Social Sweep will tell you who that one relationship is, because it can analyze all your followers. You might have a billionaire following you right now and you don't even know. You might have the cousin of the person whose business you want to buy following you right now and you don't even know. You might want to speak at an event and the person who runs that event is following you on LinkedIn, but again, you don't even know. When you use Social Sweep, it analyzes not only your network, it analyzes the people you're trying to connect with and figure out where's that common ground. It'll even give you the message for what to say to them to get the intro. It's really simple. You just connect your Instagram or LinkedIn. You can ask it, who can intro me to target person? It then gives you the message to use to ask for the intro, and then you can send it to all those mutual connections. This is such a cheat code to activate your network. Your network is your net worth. And as you travel, organizing meetups, inviting people to work out, maybe stopping by somebody's office that happens to be in the city that you didn't even know lived there, because who could keep track of it all, is how AI is transforming relationships. So now that you've connected and got your money flowing in, it's time to keep your eyes on it. Tool number 6, HelloFrank.ai. HelloFrank is essentially a finance co-pilot. The coolest part is they can spot waste and even give you clear guidance on what decisions you should make based on your numbers. We use it in all my companies within Martell Ventures to just flag things like unused tools or people that have weak financial forecasting or getting a daily cash position in all the companies based on the accounts. Essentially, it allowed me to cut burn, move my budgets to new tools that actually push the business forward and increase our productivity overnight. See, every dollar saved hits the bottom line. You want to make more profit, cut your expenses, but how can you even see the waste if you have hundreds of transactions? I believe margin is like the oxygen for business, and if you protect it, you can scale. So here's how it works. You input all your financial statements, literally just connect all the systems. It keeps all of that financial data private, so it doesn't actually load it into the AI models. And then you can just ask it a simple question, like, where am I wasting cash? It can look at every one of your reports and then give you the answer so that you can take action. Using AI in your financial world for anomaly detection and fraud protection and daily cash position is kind of a no-brainer. Anybody that doesn't use AI and a tool like this in their financials is just working way harder than they have to. And one of the features they haven't built yet, but I know is coming, is the ability to actually automate the outbound calls for receivables. I know. But you know Atlas at the beginning? That just shows you that voice AI is going to show up in all areas of business to make you even more productive. So now that we plugged the financial leaks in your bucket, it's time to take a look at your strategy. Tool number 7, Alisio.ai. Essentially, Alisio is your go-to-market command center. So in the area of business, there's a thing called sales and marketing and customer success, essentially your revenue. And you use Alisio to ask it anything about your revenue and get answers instantly. Think of it like a CRO or a chief revenue officer on steroids. I had one of my clients use it and it analyzed his CRM to find out that 70% of his clients were actually based in Texas. So then it told him to shut down all of his ads that weren't focused on the state of Texas, and he went all in. That tripled his performance of his ads, essentially doubling his profits in only a few weeks. You can't fix what you can't see. If you want to get rich, you need to see your numbers. It's really simple. All you have to do is connect your CRM, either like Go High Level or HubSpot, then your ads account, and then your support tool so it can kind of connect the whole thing. And then ask it questions like, where am I getting my best clients from? Double down on what's working in your data and you will grow your business. So having AI be like this revenue co-pilot to help you increase your sales is awesome. But now it's time to stop payments from slipping through. Tool number 8, FlexPay.io. This may only be relevant to people that have a lot of transactions and they care about this problem. But the truth is 13% of credit card transactions decline, not because the credit card isn't good anymore, but just because the merchant or the person who issued the credit card doesn't have enough information to have it go. So that's what FlexPay does. FlexPay recovers failed payments with smart, gentle retries. Essentially, it saves you revenue without annoying your customers. Because blasting them emails like, update your credit card. They're like, there's nothing wrong with my credit card. I called my bank, it's not broken. And you're telling me I got to update my credit card. And the transaction didn't happen. And they're like, my credit card's good. You said the transaction didn't happen. Now your team's calling me. It's not a great customer experience. And you don't have to do that. AI will do it for you. I have a company and we have thousands of customers. And we turned it on and I watched our lost MRR come back quietly and our support team wasn't even needed. See, keeping a customer is way cheaper than buying a new one. You want to annoy them, bug them with something that's not broken. The way it works is actually really simple. First, just run a recovery calculator to see if how much it could save you makes sense for you. If it does, then you just connect your billing tool and then essentially your gateway sandbox, which is like your test environment, so that it can run examples to see if it'll work. And that's it. FlexPay will run for you behind the scenes and you don't have to do anything more, making you more money every month without losing those transactions. Having a tool like FlexPay is invaluable. Now that cash flow is smooth, it's time to hire fast without drowning in interviews. Tool number 9, HeroHire.ai. HeroHire is essentially AI HR when it comes to recruiting. It's crazy cool. If you don't have a dedicated recruiter on your team, you need a tool like Hero. Essentially, it runs structured screens, records answers, and hands you ranked shortlists of candidates you can pick from. Hero does the job that a person would have to do in regards to like screening through hundreds of job applicants, talking to them, filtering. It's so wild that even in today's world that people still do that role. I believe that AI is going to disrupt the middleman, and recruiting is one of those places because I just want to find the match for my business and that person, and the Hero platform does that. Then my calendar is only interviews with final candidates that actually map to our culture, to the skill set, to the desire of them wanting to work for us. We used to sift through hundreds of resumes. Now with Hero Hire, when people apply, the whole thing is automated through AI. The time to hire from like job description to hiring got reduced to 30 days. If you're looking to hire an executive assistant, it's even crazier because what they did is they went out and curated a community of people using their AI and automation to verify and validate the talent so that if you're looking to hire, you might be able to actually hire somebody in 5 to 7 days. The way I think about it, Hero helps me recruit the people that I train, and when I build the people run the business. Here's how Hero works. You essentially launch a campaign in a couple clicks. Job posts, the applications, first interviews, the PI assessment, it does all that for you. It then reviews all the candidates and gives you the top 5 for every role you might have open. You can get somebody hired and onboarded, and it takes you seconds. So now that we got people and your team is set, now we have to optimize for your business metrics. Tool number 10, Precision.co. Precision is AI that's your always on data team. Now that might sound like an advanced concept, but for you to grow, you need the right information to make decisions. So it builds scorecards, it'll flag weird metrics, and it'll tell you what to do next to work with your team, through your team, to get change done in your business. So what's cool is on my teams at 8 a.m., they get one email with all the different KPIs and one clear action they have to move forward to improve the business. In business, no scoreboard, no game. There's no way for you to be able to grow if you can't make decisions from real numbers if you want to get rich this year. The way it works, super simple. You connect your CRM solution, your billing system, and any kind of Facebook ads, and then you pick the weekly CEO scorecard that you want to see. It'll turn on anomaly alerts and use Slack to deliver any messages for you. Essentially, it monitors the data. It gives you a scorecard that everybody has to follow against, and it'll give you the action items your team needs to do to move it forward so that on your weekly meetings, you know exactly what to talk to them about. It takes the guesswork out of actually operating and running a business. Again, I've tried over 500 plus AI tools, and these are the ones I use in all my businesses. All I want is for you to pick one tool and use it this week.
You've probably heard the news and seen the headlines that say you only have 12 months to build your wealth because after that superhuman AI is coming, AGI is happening, and that's it. There's this new AI 2027 forecast report by a former OpenAI researcher that lays out what's about to happen month by month. And it claims that by 2027, AI will reshape society more than the Industrial Revolution did. We're talking AI agents replacing entire departments from research to coding to operators. And while this sounds like science fiction and really negative, the money pouring in proves it's real. About that, how can people start making money by share their voice with 11 Labs?
So it's one of the efforts we launched in the early days where we effectively created a voice marketplace, voice ecosystem, where every person can create their own voice, go through authentication flow. You need to record roughly 30 minutes or more of you speaking. Then you have a perfect replica of your own voice that speaks in the language you recorded, plus all the language we support. So you have usually 30 or so different variations. Now, with the new model we are releasing, it will be 70. So you have the voice that's now available for your own use. And then if you decide, you can share it to our marketplace. And if you share it to our marketplace, a specific period of time, specific conditions of what you are sharing it for, then other people can use it across 11 Labs ecosystem. And when your voice is being used, you get paid back as a result. This way, we have now almost 10,000 voices that people shared and created. What is incredible is it spans so many different languages, accents, different styles. So like now if you are logging to the platform, you just have this incredible plethora of voices, and we pay voice time back. So it was I think $2 million at the beginning of the years that we paid back, and now I think last time I checked, it was a few months ago, we paid back $5 million
Wow.
to the entire community.
How
And
much
it's
does
growing.
an average voice creator make?
So it really depends. I think it will be a lot of people in like a few $100 per month category. And that's probably what you could expect if you do a little bit of that effort and what you could.
And here's what Samir Vasavada, co-founder at Wise, shares.
We had 150 people, 160 people at one point in time, and now we are closer to 40. And we are doing 10 times better from a metric standpoint with 40 people than what we were doing with 160 people.
What changed? AI?
I think AI changed. I think scalability changed, like the idea that how do we think about automating everything we do? And I think sometimes with AI, sometimes with this kind of idea that we are going to manage 10 times the amount of accounts next year and 20 times the account the years after, how do we figure out and how do we design everything from scratch from a scalability standpoint? So a good example is like client service. So we had a 6-person, 7-person client service team that was automatic, like they were manually sending out DocuSigns and, doing account openings and processing and all of these different things. And now we have a 3-person team or 2-person team that handles probably 20 to 30 times the amount of accounts we had back then. And they figured out how to automate everything. And the first thing they did was, I'm actually not going to focus on client service. I'm going to focus on all the jobs to be done with client service.
How do I eliminate myself?
And exactly. And then they're overseeing all the systems so they can be highly, highly scalable.
And here's your action step. Write down the top 3 bottlenecks in your business or in business that you understand or you have access to. Maybe you know a lot of real estate agents. And ask yourself, could an AI intern handle them? Build a simple demo in Replit or with another no-code agent tool and run it with one of your customers.
I just reversed engineered a $20,000 military IP mesh radio using open source parts totaling only $106.23. Sure, the government has been known to overpay for things, but I could build about 200 of these for the price of a single unit of theirs. And last week I posted about this on Reddit, and a few days later, the US military contacted me. Fortunately, not to shut me down, but just looking for advice, which I gotta say, felt pretty good.
The true power of ATAC is being able to get situational awareness in the palm of your hand. Usually that was reserved to kind of your TOCs, right? Your tactical operations centers where commanders and planners could see the big picture. But when you enable warfighter, which is something I think that the current Army and military, Marines, Air Force, I mean, they are trying to get there, but they're just also kind of because of their own procurement processes, they're going about in a very, very slow manner. Like, and you got to test, and everybody has an opinion about some piece of kit, right? So it's very challenging in that aspect. But the way special operations used it, and now you can go onto a target, and then you can see where everybody's at. You can coordinate fires. Hell, there's some apps in there where you can send through either Link 16 or Saddle straight to a fast mover to drop a bomb on target. We used it in other ways, such as helicopter interdictions. The Bloodhound tool is very, very useful. We know how long it would take us to get somewhere. We would be able to pull the metadata off of video feeds that we know exactly where that vehicle was, and it would cut that time down. We also used it for, what we call mad minutes, where we had to shift target. We had to come up with a plan really quickly. Usually it was, a bunch of guys huddled up against a helo and coming up with a hasty plan. We could do it all from our phone. We can watch the video right in the palm of our hand. So, when you network ATAC, it becomes extremely more powerful.
But what did I just build? And what exactly does it enable? And why is it ruffling so many feathers? Freedom Tech is finally catching up. I'm talking about decentralized, open source tools that you actually own, built by companies that encourage tinkering instead of suing you for it. That's something I can get behind. It's that Southern engineering grit I admire, making gear tougher, smarter, and more useful by pushing it past the limits, and being able to sideload, extend, and overclock my tech to do things nobody thought is possible. That's exactly what this channel is all about. This device creates a private portable IP network, but let's see how far it can go and what bandwidth it can support. I'm heading into a signal dead zone, and I'm bringing nothing but a Starlink and 2 Wi-Fi Halo nodes. Can I create a fully functional long-range wireless internet network from scratch and actually use it for real-world practical uses like chat messages, GPS coordination, push-to-talk, ATAC, video streaming, and internet connections? This feels like reliving the glory days of walkie-talkies as a kid, except now it's upgraded to the latest Wi-Fi standards. We're talking 802.11s mesh and 802.11ah Halo. So instead of just goofing around in the backyard, you're running a legit long-range encrypted internet network. And the DoD may or may not want a word with you. If this doesn't work, I may have wasted a lot of time and a lot of money. But if it does work, this changes everything. But before breaking into it, just what the heck is this thing? Okay, let's keep this dead simple. It's a mainnet, which stands for Mobile Ad Hoc Network. It sounds complicated, but all it means is it's a self-contained portable node that links up with others just like it. Each one of these nodes is built around a small computer, usually a Raspberry Pi, running an open source router software called OpenWRT. That's the brains. So I'm actually getting Wi-Fi out here, but it's not coming across the standard Wi-Fi connection. It's coming across Ethernet, and it's coming across the 915 megahertz antenna. You can see it's pretty slow, but it is loading, and really we just wanted to do some tests, so we'll run those tests. So I'm watching one of my own YouTube videos, and I'm doing it by way of this 915 megahertz sub-gigahertz antenna that is connected to a Halo chip on a Raspberry Pi and then going into my laptop over Ethernet. But what's interesting is the router that this is connecting to is actually way up there, and it's able to pass my home wireless connection to this device because it's using the Halo antenna with a 1 megahertz channel width, which means it can go super far. Here's what I achieved with my performance tests. At 8 megahertz, I measured about 15 megabits per second, both up and down, which is right on the theoretical ceiling for Wi-Fi Halo at that channel width. At 4 megahertz, throughput landed at 7.3 megabits, again matching the expected max. At 2 megahertz, I actually clocked 4.4 megabits, just a hair above textbook 3.9, well within margin for how iPerf reports traffic. And at the narrowest 1 megahertz channel, I got 1.8 megabits, which lines up almost exactly with the 1.95 megabits theoretical limit. Out of the box, these Halo radios ship at about 21 dBm. That's roughly 125 milliwatts. Pretty modest, not much more than a home router. But with the Open Mainnet firmware, which is the open source package that this is based on, that ceiling gets raised to 27 dBm, which is around 500 milliwatts. That's almost 4 times the wattage, which makes a huge difference in link stability and range. And just for context, the legal limit for unlicensed 900 megahertz gear in the US is 30 dBm, which is the equivalent of 1 full watt. That's the absolute max you can transmit without a special license. So at 27 dBm, we're sitting right near the top of what's possible for a civilian build, just shy of the legal ceiling. You get the benefits of serious range and resilience while staying inside the regulatory box. Now, one quick myth buster. Bandwidth isn't set by the antenna. It's set by the modulation and channel width in the radio. But the antenna does matter for range. A higher gain antenna antenna can focus the signal, letting you hold a link further out or punch through interference. So swapping antennas won't make your network faster, but it can make it go a whole lot farther. And OpenWRT gives you a full suite of diagnostic throughput testing, range tests, and live packet stats. So the takeaway is simple. In real-world conditions, my test basically hit the ceiling of what 802.11ah can do. Wide channels gives you max bandwidth, narrow channels stretch your range. So now what can we do at this? Well, that's where it gets interesting. The most obvious application that comes to mind is ATAK, which is Android Tactical Awareness Kit, which is used by the military and domestic search and rescue teams for operatives which require several team members staying connected in highly dynamic situations. Now, there's a number of different ways to leverage ATAK, but with this setup, I was able to get the devices connected from mainnet 1 to mainnet 2 without using any sort of fancy TAC servers. There was a little bit of finessing on the network layer, and if you're trying to get that working, just don't think you're not going to learn about subnetting in the process. But I can provide some of those details in my guide, and I was able to send ATAK messages from a device connected to mainnet 1 over Halo to a device connected to mainnet 2. I was also able to do a couple other fancy things like drop images onto the map and share those between nodes. And I was able to do that using something called multicasting, which is essentially making use of the Wi-Fi network to send those communications, but there was no sort of centralized remote or even local TAC server. So it sends it directly from device to device by IP address on the network. And I gotta say, I really like that setup because everything is confined within your private network and you're able to push communications to each other, track nodes on a map, and have those sort of off-grid comms that you usually only normally get with a satellite connection.
So we actually have everything working now. This right here is node number 2. I have the mainnet right there, and I'm running Ethernet into my computer, and we can see that we have internet, even though my computer is not on Wi-Fi. So we have about 14, 15 down, which tracks perfectly because the internet's coming over Wi-Fi Halo at an 8 megahertz width, and the theoretical max for that is like 17 megabits per second, and it's got the same down, so a symmetric link. So everything's actually working. Now, normally you would connect your mainnet to your end user devices like your ATAK devices. You would connect that over Wi-Fi, but that's just an extra step that I didn't want to get into right now because I'm still awaiting that piece. That's just a little Wi-Fi dongle. So you would just keep your radio on you, and then you'd have a local Wi-Fi network, and then Halo for the long distance stuff. But the question is now, how far can we still get a signal, right? And at what data lengths? And so I'm going to give that a shot. Okay, so I have my little radio station here. I'm on the move here. I just did a test. This is node number 2, and I got 6 megabits per second down and 14 megabits per second up. And the second node is that white car way over there. But I was watching YouTube. I'm watching YouTube because of the sub-gigahertz Wi-Fi Halo radio. So now we're gonna go even further. Okay, so we're right here. This is our mainnet here. We're way further out, probably coming up on a mile maybe. And we're still getting internet here, although it was beginning to break down a little bit. Let's see if we can do a speed test. Whoa. Here we go. All right, so now we're not even quite hitting a megabit per second, but close to a megabit down. Let's see what we get for up. For some reason, the uplink is better. And a couple megabits per second is still quite a bit to work with in terms of voice, low rate video, stuff like that. So I'd actually be curious if we can get any significant video here. So I'm gonna put this in one of my hands, which I really don't have a free hand here. And then we're gonna go back to YouTube. Let's see here. See if anything comes through.
This microchip can extend your Wi-Fi over 10 miles.
So we're watching YouTube videos using the 915 antenna, and my Starlink is way out there. So we're in a remote area, we're near a beach. We have no fiber or anything like that. We just have a Starlink. I'm about a mile away and we're still watching YouTube videos. Call me impressed.
And now we've got proof that this little box can keep up with the big boys. So at 2,000 feet, I was getting shy of 1 megabit per second down and almost 3 megabits per second up, which interestingly was enough for me to continue watching YouTube, which just felt surreal. I was 2,000 feet away from my Starlink and still able to watch YouTube, all due to Wi-Fi Halo. Now, to be clear, this is the Civi version. It's absolutely usable in the field, but it's not military spec. It's not guaranteed to survive a Humvee rollover or keep sinking after a week in the desert. Think of it as the civilian alternative, open source, flexible, and cheap enough to actually build yourself. Also, I'm not here to push more screens into more places, but I've been out where phones die and help's not coming. And that's where tools like this might have a place. And if the tech encourages people to get outside and explore, then I support that too. Now, I know what you're all thinking. What about security? But rest assured, Halo radios use WPA3-SAE, the same encryption handshake you'll find on modern enterprise Wi-Fi. It's strong, it's proven, and yes, everything running on this mesh is locked down. So this isn't some open Wild West signal that anyone can hijack. It's encrypted end-to-end, just like you'd expect. Now you might be thinking, this looks like LoRa or Meshtastic, but here's the difference. LoRa is brilliant for ultra low bandwidth over long range with very low power draw. It's perfect for text and GPS pings, but it tops out at kilobits per second. It's like walkie-talkie but for data. Wi-Fi Halo, on the other hand, runs in the megabits per second range. That's the difference between just sending a ping and streaming a video feed. And the big kicker is Halo supports full IP networking. This isn't a custom packet form, it's real internet. You can run ATAC, push-to-talk apps, webcams, even route traffic straight through Starlink. It's literally plug-and-play networking, just stretched for range. So if Meshtastic is your digital walkie-talkie, Halo is your portable router for the middle.
Thanks for watching this latest in tech compilation. Don't forget to support these channels as well as stay tuned for more content coming very soon. Smash that like button. Hasta la vista mañana, baby. And don't forget to eat them pepperonis. Okay, bye-bye now.